Welcome to RMK. Today's vlog is all going to be about some new products I've just received in the mail from Admore Lighting in the United States. They've upgraded their LED systems. As you've probably seen in some of the recent vlogs I've done, where I've used a lot of their products on a K1200 GT, K1300 GT. I've put them onto the Triumph Explorers, also the K1600 GT, and of course just recently the BMW R1200 GSA, that's the 2018 model with the TFT screen. So they did contact me, Admore, and they asked me would I evaluate their product, which of course I agreed to. It didn't cost me for the LEDs themselves. All I had to do was pay for the freight, so I'm just going to offer an overview of the product itself for you guys and let you know what its performance, what its value is like, the ease of getting it installed. They do give you a basic instruction of, here we go, just get this out, of how to do the installation. There you go, and also on the back, most importantly, gives you a bit of a wiring diagram or an explanation of the wiring and how to work it. It's not difficult to do as long as you know the systems that you're working with. I'm going to try and work you through that, but it's just an introduction to these new LEDs, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different here. I'm going to install, and I'll show you those in a second, I'm going to install these into the top case. They are smaller than the originals, and you'll see somewhere up here on the right hand corner I'll start showing some pictures of what I've done. But these are actually a new improved LED, supposed to be far brighter than the original set I put on about 6-8 months ago. But at the same time, after putting those into the top box, I've decided, and I asked the guys at Admore to send me some of the longer LED arrays, so I could put those onto the side cases of the GSA. So again, you'll have a look at some photographs here. I bought some black side cases, BMW cases. I'm going to install these. So these will not only be a daytime running light, there'll also be an indicator and also a brake light function. So they'll obviously have to be wired in. As you can see, the wires are all ready to go. Now I believe these are still the development LEDs. They're not the final units that'll go out to the marketplace, because I believe they've changed this wiring just here, and they can actually have it protruding, I think either from the top from memory or from the rear. I don't know exactly. I did receive an email, and I'll have a little look there as well, exactly what the boys are going to be doing. So anyway, the guys from, and I do thank them very much. Let's start off at the very beginning. Thanks very much, Admore Lighting, for entrusting these pre-production models to me, to allow me to evaluate and see if how they work on the GSA. So following now, guys, you're going to see the process of putting them on. These ones won't be too difficult. These are the for the top box, because I've already got the wiring in place. I hope I don't have to use the additional wiring, but I may do. Anyway, we'll find that out as we're going on. Okay, welcome back. So you can see what I've done here. I've obviously got one of the LEDs still installed. I've taken one out, and as we can clearly see, Rod is not good at drilling holes. That was very poor of me. Anyway, you can see the wiring inside, and now it goes down to the male-female connection. So all I'm going to do is just remove that, and of course with the new wiring I should say, I'll put the wiring in. And most importantly, you need to actually install this first before putting on the cap. I'm just going to find those, here they are. Before actually installing the cap itself, because if you don't, as you can see, you will not get it through the hole. So it's a very simple process. Feed it through once you've made a very good drill hole. Of course I didn't do it. Lined it up. Obviously you've got the 3M tape behind, so we're going to remove that afterwards. But before I do anything, all I'm going to do is then put this cap on, make sure that the colours are correct to the, if you can see that, to the three. So we've got a black, yellow and red. So black, yellow and red must equal exactly what we're going to wire up on this little baby. So you can see there again, if you can see that properly, you've got the yellow, red and black. So I'm just going to make sure I do that properly. Make sure I get my wiring up so when it connects it has the correct colours done. So let's get on to that now. Okay, so as you can see, yellow, red and black. So let's put the yellow in first. Should click in, and it does. I'm hoping I've got it. So yellow outside, red and black. Yep, let's push those in. Okay, they click in all the way in, I believe. Yep, so they come through. And then make sure we lock them into place. So that's it, very simple process. Make sure your colours are correct, that it's wiring up. Of course I'm going on my left because this will be the left hand side I'm installing, as well as I'll do the opposite side, of course is the right. Let me just get that there. So on the left, we've got left, and there is the right connection. And of course there's the male-female connector, which will get this one down there. It'll go right into there once I take that one out. Okay, so once you're happy with that, obviously you just will need to get the 3M tape off by just peeling one edge, making sure not to touch it, because this stuff is very good, but you need to make sure that you get it lined up. So I like to push it, as you can see I've made the hole way too big, so I'm going to push the array up nice and high, and then I'm going to bring it down as straight as I think it might be. Okay, there you go, it's in. Now, because I made such a large hole, typical stupidity in me, should have measured it, but I didn't do it when I first put this on. Just make sure you give it a nice push without actually pushing on the LEDs. I just don't think it's a great idea. So what I did was, because the hole was so big, I actually got myself a little bit of blue tack, and we can see this, if the hole is too big, I just used a bit of blue tack behind it. See if we can get into there. Just to plug up the hole so there was no water coming out, or actually coming through there. No, it's not the best way to do it, but blue tack, and I don't know whether you've got that in any other country. Here in Australia they call it blue tack. It's just a plasticized, what would you call it, product that actually does repel water extremely well. So there you go, you can see there's the new one, and there's the old one, which I'll take off in a second. Obviously, if you're going to be taking off anything that's got a very aggressive 3M tape, use a little hand heater. It's like a hairdryer, except it really does kick in. It hasn't been turned on yet. And slowly heat up the area without obviously melting it, so that you can peel it away. Preferably don't peel it from the top to the bottom, because what happens is you'll crease all these arrays, or these little LEDs, and you may wreck them. I would like to actually use these on my K16. Okay, I tend to use a little bit of WD-40. Again, I know you can get this in the UK. I don't know about the States. I think it might even be an American product, but it actually says here made in Australia, so it actually may be an Australian product. Can't tell you guys, but if it's not, I'm sure you'll let me know. Get a bit of WD-40 and just clean the area that you just worked on. I find WD-40 actually gets rid of most of the adhesives and dirt and grime from the area I've just worked on. As you can see, there's a bit of, I'll just give it a quick wipe over so it's nice and clean, and then we'll put the next LED array in there. Perfect. Okay, so again, there's our new LED. That's the clip that we've got. We've got to make sure that we add to this side. So again, we're going to make sure that the colours are correct. So we're going to have yellow, red in the middle, black on the outside. So yellow, red, and black on the outside. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Yellow, red, and black. Of course, I stuffed up. See what I've done there? go to clip it in, it's the wrong way around, so if I turn it around, I'm now opposite, which of course I don't want. So we have to get these guys back out and turn it around. Just like that, push them in. Okay, there you go, locked in place. You can hear a slight click if you didn't. Yellow, red and black. Now what I'm also going to do as well here is I'm going to use some shrink sleeve. I'm going to put it over and shrink it down, because I have found with the old type, and let's just have a look at the old type, it didn't actually have a male-female connector, and it would vibrate and come apart. So there you go, Admore. Obviously you've changed the design because you've now made it a female connector instead of just a slide-on, which is a great idea. I had got past it by using just a shrink sleeve. But there you go, there's something that we can look at. Okay, so now I've connected the LEDs to their wiring. Obviously I'll just have to stick that on. I'll do that in a second. You've seen the left hand side, so you don't need to see the right hand side. I'm going to connect it down, sorry I do apologise, down to the male-female connector, then jump it back on the GSA, fire it up. I'm hoping that this particular connector will still run the same type of motion. I can't see why it would, because it's all the same wiring. Okay, I'm not going to worry about going through all these clips at the moment, because as you can see they're starting to come away. All I want to do is get this guy, and most importantly, take the screw off, the old one away. Okay, install it. They will actually break, so just finger tight. I normally go finger tight, and I'll just give it a little bit of a... Fortunately, as I suspected, let's just turn this girl on, and we'll put the... as you can see, nothing. This is the new wiring. I was hoping I could bypass it, but obviously there is some type of chip in here which takes the information that relays it down through and runs the LEDs. So obviously I'm now going to have to install that. So we've got it working. So you can see that the lights are all working, but no one's home at the back. Can you believe it? Oh, I had to give it a shot. You have to give these things a shot, guys and gals. I actually thought the old wiring would work, but I had a sneaking suspicion this was going to be an issue. Okay, guys, thanks very much, and gals, thanks very much for your time, and we'll get back to it soon. All the best. Bye.